Yeah, so my name is Nathan Reynolds. I come from a family known as the Reynolds family, and they are in our area and in our country a very powerful family that's developed massive financial, political, and corporate influence. And they did that from the early 1800s, making literal deals with evil spirits. And I know it sounds kind of peculiar because a lot of people might see this stuff as something that may be cartoonish, devils worshiping, people gather around in robes and bowing down to Satan with some pitchforks and horns. But really, the kingdom of darkness has a physical agents on this side of the earth that operate, giving themselves over to this kingdom of darkness for, I mean, power, control, and the ability to exercise their will on this earth. They're grand master wizards and magicians, and these are people that have always had the king's ear, just like King Saul, all the way back in the early days of Israel, was going to the witch of Endor. Even though she was put out of the community, he's still going to the witches. We still have many of the individuals who are our leaders and our governing authorities that still consult with the witches and the mediums in order to have a spiritual power behind their system of control that they're trying to implement. And so it is a very ancient way, like you talked about. This is the sacrifices to Moloch that we read about all the way from the beginning in the scriptures. This is all the way back to the ways of Cain. Like my family participated with a group of Jesuits who trained people to slaughter and to enforce the oaths. And so they were like guardians of these oaths that they swear, and people that would go in and enforce these oaths that were sworn during these ceremonies. And at the time, back in the 90s, when this was going on for me in the early 90s and early 2000s, this was much less openly disclosed. There is this revelation of the beast system that's kind of coming forth into popular culture, and it's kind of they're demystifying the occult. They're lifting the veil as their counter to the revelation of the Messiah, the true Messiah, the one who comes with deliverance in mind. There's another system that is revealing itself to the masses right now, which is revealing the beast. And it's trying to create an altered image. It's trying to create a mingling between flesh and circuitry. It's trying to mingle the occult with the good. So it's not just good versus bad, it's evil versus bad. And they're joining themselves together and they're trying to infect society with a massive spell. It's called the Great Deception. It is the greatest, most effective deception that's being beguiling over the eyes of mankind. However, there is this remnant that's waking up, like you're describing right now, that this information is being brought forth. That because this is getting revealed, it's giving survivors, it's getting victims, it's giving people the opportunity to make a choice. That now you know who it is you're going to actually be a participant of versus who it is that you actually want to be on this earth. You want to be a part of this kingdom of righteousness or the kingdom of destruction? And I was firmly planted in the kingdom of darkness, and I wanted out. I wanted out because I'd gotten caught up in violence. I'd gotten caught up in murder. I'd gotten caught up in absolute, unutterable rage. And I was poisoned inside. I had death inside me. I was consumed by these evil spirits, and I wanted a way out. And I really saw the worldly system, the military, fighting soldiers. I could be a hero to the people. I thought violence was my way out. And it just led me into deeper places of darkness and self-despair and hatred than I ever had before.